So our next speaker, Nahui, that you also might know, who is our candidate for Brunswick, is a well-known activist in this city who was part of many things, including the campaign against racism and fascism, but also the blockade of the International Mining and Resources Conference that many of us were part of in 2019, has been a fighter for climate justice with Uni Students for Climate Justice, an organiser of many protests and rallies and part of it all. And so we wanted to get Nahui to say a few words about her struggles and what we can do to support them. So Nahui, welcome.
I wanted to start by talking about two things that happened in climate politics this week, and I think Liz went through it a little bit. But firstly, we saw the Labour Party introduce a bill that is literally going to kill this planet, that literally goes against every single scientific thing we know about climate destruction. And they've not only said that they're only going to reduce emissions by 43%, they've also decided to open up over 113 coal mines right now. Now, we know that politicians and the rich are waging a conscious attack, a conscious war, I would say, on the planet. And we know why they are doing this. They're doing this in the name of profit. And I think when we think about what is the political movement that we need in this country that can actually deal with the questions of climate change, we're not going to find this in the halls of Parliament. We're not going to find this in history books necessarily that tell you to look to Parliament as a solution. We're not going to find it really making any concessions to people who seek to destroy the planet in the name of profit. I think the kind of political movement that we need is one that says no. We are willing to stand up to the profit-driven system that is capitalism, and we're willing to take a stand even when it is difficult to do that. We are basically out of time to tinker around the system. We need real action at the moment. And I think that brings me to point number 2 of things that happened in politics this week. And Liz also mentioned it. The Daniel Andrews government recently introduced new draconian bills that is going to fine climate activists over $21,000 or jail them for 12 months if they protest at these logging sites. This is an absolute disgrace. We all here, I think, understand the role of civil disobedience, understand the role of, blocking at times trucks, blocking streets in order to demand action on social justice issues. These new laws that have been introduced do the exact opposite and seek to protect the people that profit the most out of the climate destruction that we are seeing. Like Rose said, I was part of starting Blockade IMARC with a lot of people here, and that is the International Mining and Resources Conference, in case you didn't know, which is this, conference where all the climate criminals of the world get together and essentially think about how best to destroy our planet. And it was hosted by, of course, Daniel Andrews. And when we were organizing this blockade, when we all got up really early to begin this protest, we were immediately met by lines and lines and lines of police, by lines and lines of riot squads, things like that. And when we were trying to raise our voices to demand climate justice, to point to all of these single criminals in there, that they are the ones that are responsible for climate change, we were met with OC spray, which is a chemical weapon by the Victoria Police. We were brutalized by the police, and this was all essentially done by Daniel Andrews with his seal of approval. So these are the kind of people, I think, that we need to point the finger and say, we know who you are. We know that you are part of destroying the climate. We know that you're part of destroying this planet, and we're willing to actually take a stand and confront you. And we need every single person here to mobilize around these things. We know the role that civil disobedience has. It saved, many parklands. Civil disobedience has, ended segregation. And I think civil disobedience is what we need right now in order to actually address the issues of climate change. And I think that Victorian Socialists has many activists involved with us that can actually deliver that. And we desperately need a different form of organizing the world, and that starts here today. So thank you.